Hello friends, and welcome to the Hanged Man in the Moon. If this is your first time here, welcome. Thank you for coming. I'm pleased to meet you. If you've been here before, thank you for returning. I'm truly honored. Friends, if you are a returning visitor, you surely know that this is my deep dive into an amazing deck called the Egyptian Tarot by C.C. Zane and the Brotherhood of Light. And just in case you are new here, let me tell you what I'm doing. Every night before I go to bed, I shuffle my mass market color version of the Egyptian Tarot and I pull a card for the day. The question I ask is, what would I benefit from giving my attention to in the coming day? So I riffle shuffle my mass market color version, and then when I pull my card, I pull the matching card from my very out of print charcoal gray and white version of the deck. And I look at them, I compare them. Compare and contrast, look for the similarities, look for the differences. And then I ask for help. From the divine, from spirit, yes, but also from another deck that I've been focusing on since I did a deep dive into that deck about 6 or 7 months ago. The Tarot of the Holy Light by the brilliant and amazing Christine Payne-Towler. So I do a 3-card spread using that deck. The first card is the significance of my daily draw card for me for that next day. The second card is the challenge, either positive or negative. And the third card is the advice. A typical 3-card spread. Significance, challenge, advice. And then I go to sleep. And then I wake up and I live my day. And at the end of the day, I come back and I analyze the spread and the card a little bit more carefully and see how the attributions, the meanings, the messages either revealed themselves for me during the day, or they perhaps need a little bit more reflection on my part, a little bit more introspection, a little more consideration. So that's what I do, and that's what I did. And so before I show you that first card, I just have to tell you something. I'm a little bit excited. I'm not over the moon excited because well, it's not that big of a deal, but I'm a little bit excited because I have my brand new tripod for home and a new LED light for home. So if this looks a little bit different and maybe hopefully a little bit better to you, it's because of that. Yeah. If you were following me, you probably heard me say about 3 weeks ago that when I moved to my winter camp in Gangwon-do in South Korea, and I was unpacking, that I sat on my tripod, which granted was, I think I got it for free, and it was plastic, and I broke one of the legs. And so I was working with this rickety, broken ass tripod for about 3 weeks. And then I came home and I ordered a new tripod to use. And that new tripod that I ordered came with a remote, which is wonderful because I also had lost my remote. And so I ordered this yesterday and it arrived today. That shocked the heck out of me. But also I ordered the light that I'm using now yesterday and it arrived at the same time. So I'm like, whoa, universe, thank you. So I am a little excited for my new toys. And that I can, I think, do a little bit more of my recording at home, maybe. My big setup is still at work, but there it is. There we go. And so, here we go with this video. The first card, let me show you that daily draw card in both iterations right now. You just saw that I got the Magus, otherwise known as the Magician, for my daily draw today. And the two cards look very, very similar. I mean, there's a difference. Yeah, the style of well, let me show it to you. Yeah, the face is drawn a little bit differently. The clothes are a little bit different, but basically it's the same. Now we got this guy holding this wand, very Egyptian looking. And there's a box with a bird in it. And on top of the box, in both cards, whether you see it or not, there are a cup, there are a cup, a sword, a disc, I think, and another wand. Let me check. Yes, there are a cup, a disc, a coin, a sword. No, the wand is only the wand in his hand. And this beautiful little star, a shooting star, making me think of a wish upon a star, personally, but I somehow doubt that that's what C.C. Zane was intending. So here we have the Magus, a beautiful card. And the Magus, you can see, we have at the top, is the attribution here on this corner of both cards is Mercury, right? So the Magus is Mercury. And Mercury, what are the domiciles of Mercury? We have both Gemini and Venus, Virgo. Both Gemini and Virgo. So Gemini, the thoughtful one, the bouncing around one, the one who is of two minds sometimes, the one who's exploring things, the twins, yeah? But in Virgo, Mercury is a little bit more mature. Now, Virgo is on the ascending path of the dry way. And so in Virgo, Mercury gets a little bit of order. Mercury gets a little structure. Mercury gets a little bit of regimentation and a routine to life. So we've got this Mercury here, which has different aspects. But Mercury is communication. Mercury is thought. Mercury is a student. Mercury is quick. Mercury can be a trickster, especially in Gemini. So what do we get with the Magus? What of those are going to show themselves in the Magus in this deck? Well, the first ideas are things like will and dexterity. Now, the ability to do things with maybe ambidexterity, but abilities to do things with our hands, to create, and create with our will. This card suggests that we take the initiative. This card suggests that we gain through persistence. Perhaps a little bit of that Virgo thing, persistence. Willpower will win over obstacles. Again, a little bit more Virgo, right? Mind over matter. Acquiring by effort. Applying force with compassion. Faith in a higher power. Justice through integrity. There are some interesting justice things here in the guidebooks for the tarot of the Egyptian tarot, which I had never quite thought of with the Magus. But justice through integrity, sure, why not? It gives us the Gemini, the balance of the two sides of the mind, maybe, I guess. So these are the ideas that were running around my brain for myself for today. And it's interesting, especially since my card for the day before, yesterday, was the Three of Wands, right? Which is the beginning of creation, using willpower to create. So this coming right after that, I thought was significant. Makes sense, right? And so I asked for help. I told you that I was going to ask for help, and I did. And yeah, let me show you that 3-card spread right now. You just saw that in order from left to right, I got the Eight of Wands reversed, the King of Discs upright, and the Ace of Wands upright. And so the Tarot of the Holy Light is a deck that is intended to be worked with reversals. And just in case you are new here, let me tell you that every time I shuffle the Tarot of the Holy Light, from the first time I used it until now, I split the deck, I turn half of it around, and I riffle shuffle. And then I split the deck, and I turn half of it around, and I riffle shuffle. I'm intentionally shuffling in reversals. And then reversed reversals, and then reversed reversals, and so it goes on from there. And so this time, when the Ace of Wands appeared reversed as the first card, I was a little bit trepidatious. I was a little bit worried. I was like, okay, so I got this Magus, and then, ooh, what's up with this? But then the card for advice, for challenge, was the King of Discs. And I thought, okay, I can go with that. And then the advice card being the Ace of Wands, I thought, okay, here it is. I got a general sense just from that series of a little bit careful, but you can do it as the challenge. And then the advice is find opportunity, right? Now let's go into that a little bit deeper. Here is the Eight of Wands again, up close and personal. Hopefully you're seeing that very well. And you can see the card is gorgeous, but let me show it to you upright again so that you get a better view. We've got the sun pouring down energy onto the earth and burning up half of the card. Between the left and the right side, there is a caduceus. And on the other side of the fire, there is a green portion, very green, lush portion with the Eight Wands standing vertically. So we've got this idea of extreme energy, and perhaps like when we burn crops, clearing away space for perhaps new growth in the upright version, a lot of energy pouring in. Oh, I'm sorry, the caduceus isn't exactly between the two. The caduceus actually looks like it's standing in the middle of the fire. But we've got a lot of power here. And at the bottom, you can see that the Ace of Wands, the Eight of Wands, I should say, is the Leo decadent of Sagittarius. So what is that? The Eight of Wands points to the Leo decadent of Sagittarius and its sub-ruler, the Sun, from which the fixed aspect of mutable fire's vital attributes enter our world. So, mutable fire, Sagittarius, mutable fire's vital attributes, but the fixed aspect of mutable fire's vital attributes enter our world, enter our natal charts, and enter the answer to the questions that we're posing to the tarot. And because this is reversed, remember this really was a reversed card, instead of an exaltation in this card, we have a fall. Pew! And the fall here is Jupiter in Capricorn. And Jupiter is not all that happy in Capricorn. Yeah? Capricorn is just a little bit too cold for Jupiter. Jupiter prefers being in Sagittarius, prefers being in Pisces, in that watery world of expansion. But here it's in this rigid, cold Capricorn. So what is this card trying to tell me as the significance of the Magus for me today? Well, we could be running into some problems. Yeah, the significance of this is watch out for problems, especially that the initial stages of projects might not have been handled very well. Details are important. That their excessive growth, weeds, detritus, the leaves left behind from the fall of the leaves from the trees, all of that stuff could be marring the garden, could be killing the oxygen for growth. Yeah? Too many plants will eat the oxygen, will eat the sunlight. There'll be too much competition and they'll start killing each other, right? Weeds could be eating into the beauty of the garden. Too much piled up dead matter could be suffocating plants. Things could be draining energy and resources. Other things could be pulling from our ability to concentrate or to act or to create. And again, Jupiter is slowed down in Capricorn, but that can be a good thing. Now, Jupiter is not all that happy being slowed down, but that could be of benefit at this time. Because if we slow down, some of that growth is going to slow down. Some of those weeds are going to be chilled out, are going to be frozen out perhaps. And we can take advantage of that slowing down, the slower pace, and start doing some weeding, start extracting the unnecessary, giving more space to what is there. Now, when it's upright, we've got all this energy beaming in, and now it's reversed with this, we've got a little chill, and maybe we can use that chill to our advantage. Not forgetting that we're still in this Magus area of our lives. So maybe the Magus might not be, boom, happening too quickly, but that could be a good thing. So what is the advice? The advice here is the Tauren, King of Discs. I love this King of Discs. This king has a 1 foot on a disc on the ground. He's holding a shield. He, she, they are holding a shield. And above this king's head, there is another disc of powerful star energy. And the disc at the bottom is the powerful energy of the underworld. So this king can traverse and interconnect and communicate with and take advantage of all 3 worlds: the underworld, the unconscious, the dead, the living world on the earth, and the celestial world of the divine. False distinctions, but still we get the idea of realms of ideas, that this realms of being that this king can navigate. And you see Taurus, right? So the King of Discs points to Taurus, which is the domicile of Venus, right? We've got Venus bouncing around in here, from which the fixed Earth's vital attributes enter our world. So the King of Discs here also has that beauty of Venus as part of his aspects. The connection of Venus, the enjoyment of the physical of Venus, the sensuality of Venus, which is a very big part of Tauren energy. Tauren energy is also very slow, right? It's plodding. It'll only do things at its own pace, but it'll get stuff done because it is an earth suit. It'll do the work. So what is that? Well, in this card, we've got the king here benefiting from the old ways, from the old earthen ways, the ways of the soil, the ways of following lunar cycles, the ways of the shaman, the ways of the ancient ones. Now, this is not the new, modern, newfangled king of perhaps the swords that's out there seeing the future and incorporating technology, perhaps, or the king of wands that's creative and doing all this new stuff, or the King of Cups that is just feeling how everybody's feeling and is immersed in the arts and poetry and mysticism. This is the king of using the ancestors. Akashic records, if you want to go there. Maybe, I don't know. So this king can also manage raw materials, the metals from the earth, the crystals that we have, the human resources around them as well. And this king is a hard worker. This king will work hard with his people, her people, with their people. But this king is also a party animal at heart. This king enjoys the wine, enjoys the sensual pleasures of physical interaction, enjoys the food, enjoys the clothes and the opulence that they can have and can afford. The Tauren stuff. This king also has a little bit of a challenge for him, her, their self. This king can have the danger of getting soft. Now, this king can work hard, but that party, the banquets, the revelry, the wine, that can all be very attractive, can all be addictive. It's hard to get up off of your banquet couch if you're really into it. So this king, there is a little bit of be careful of getting soft. Be careful of stopping working, because continuing the work is what keeps this king powerful, strong, magnificent. Isn't that king is just magnificent, isn't he? I think so. So this gorgeous, gorgeous king, I'd like to meet this king in person. That is my challenge, to be this king, to do the work, to not slack off. Even though there is that potential of a pause, right? That's where we've gotten so far. And so the advice is the Ace of Wands. What a cool thing for advice from the Magus. Holding that wand, that single wand up in the card. What a wonderful bit of advice. And this wand kind of echoes the wand in the card, doesn't it? No? Both of these wands have big old discs at the top. It's a lovely, lovely echo for me. A lovely, lovely, lovely resonance for me. And what do we see here? We see a hand pulling up or holding on to the sapling that's rising up from the ground. And we got to remember that the aces, while they do contain all of the potential of the entire suit, they are just saplings. And yes, you're probably saying to yourself and to me right now, but wait a minute, mister, that disc is not part of that wand. That disc is the sun in the background. Yes, I know. But I've said this. Every time I see this card, the first thing I see is this stick with the flowering sun on it. And that's not what the creator drew. I know that. But that's what I see. And so that's why I see resonance between these two. So what is the Ace of Wands? The Ace of Wands is Aries supersized. Yeah, the Ace of Wands points to the Aries decadent of Aries and its subruler Mars, from which the cardinal aspect of cardinals, fires, vital attributes, enter our world. Fire, the cardinal aspect, the cutting, blazing part of fire. Blazing a path, moving forward, with the planet Mars as its guide, as its actor, as its protagonist. So, isn't that interesting though? We've got a pair here, right? In the Tauran card, we've got, in the King of Discs card, we've got Taurus, whose planet is Venus. In this card, we've got Aries, whose planet is Mars. A nice pairing, right? A pairing of partners on the same side of the zodiac, on the descending wet way of the zodiac, of the manifesting. Yes, the manifesting side of the zodiac, the coming into physical. So what is the Ace of Wands in this deck? It's a new beginning. It's a new start of a new undertaking or a new work. And I use that work in the broadest sense. It could be a work of art. It could be work as work, like your job. It could be a working as a magical work. There's magic in the wands, right? It could be the work of love. It could be, well, that would be more the work of passion. That's the one. That's the ticket. Yeah, work of passion. So a new work, a new venture, a new undertaking. And focusing our energy on the things that will get started in a new direction. And we are challenged to work hard and perhaps learn a new skill. Because here we have Mars at the very beginning of the year. Not the year, of the seasons. Now this is we usually think of Aries as the first sign of the zodiac, right? So this is the Aries decadent of Aries, which is the very first decadent. So it's the very first part of the zodiacal year. And we've got that beginning. And because it's a beginning, Mars is still balanced. Mars is still cool. Mars can still have options. Mars can use both its boldness and the subtlety that it has. Mars does have some subtlety buried in there. That's why Mars is also housed in Scorpio. Mars is not only fire. Mars has a really strong water suit in Scorpio available to him. So we've got the potential for both aspects of Mars to express itself. To express themselves, yes. Which is wonderful. That's wonderful advice. Start something new. Go for the new. Focus on the thing that will perhaps bring new skills, whatever it is. It could be a new recipe that you're cooking. It could be a new way of communicating with somebody. It could be, now of course, yes, communication is more a swords thing, but it could be a new skill of communication, maybe. It could be a new venture of a project. All those things are possible. So, let me tell you about my day. We come to that part of the video. And today was a decent day. I got up and I actually got ready more quickly than I thought I would be able to get ready, since I did just get back from a long cap and only had one day of rest here at home, and went off to work because I needed to turn in tax documents to work. We do that here. We turn in our initial tax documents to our place of work. So I needed to do that because I'm already a little bit late. So I went into work, I did that, and then I decided, heck, I've got this Ace of Wands as advice. I've got the Magus as my thing for the day. I'm going to contact that woman. I'm going to contact that woman who works at the library near me and see if she thinks we could do, see if she thinks, one, my idea of a play reading club is possible, and two, if she would help me get the paperwork and get the advertisement done, so that all I might really have to do is go in and run it once it's all set up. And she seemed really amenable to it. I also threw out a little bit of another idea, which was, what I would really like to do is start a tarot study club, but probably the library wouldn't be interested in that. What do you think? So she didn't bite at that bait quickly, but I did toss that out as another possibility. We'll see. Turned in the forms, as I said. Tried to help a friend, but I wasn't able to help the friend with their tax stuff because there are many reasons why. They had shut us all out of the system because the deadline had been passed. And I had already done the system portion of the submissions of tax documents. All I needed to do was print it out, sign it, and turn the signed copy in. He hadn't even done the computer system portion, and I didn't realize that he wasn't able to get into the system completely when I was trying to help him, and that's why the system looked different, and also that kind of stuff happened as well. I also ordered some stuff. One book that I had wanted to get for this series, I had ordered it, but without my knowing it, the seller canceled the order, and I've been waiting and I've been waiting. I said, what the heck? Why isn't it coming? And turns out the thing that I had ordered, a book for this, was no longer available, but it was still up on. Have you ever done that? It was still up on the website. You order it, then they say, oh, we don't have any more of those. Sorry. If they don't send you an email, at least not one that you see. Anyway, so I reordered that book again. And I, in the process, also ordered a tarot deck or two that I've been wanting, and I ordered a crystal that I've been wanting to go along with it. And so, yeah, there's also that, which may be a little bit of that indulgence thing of the of this card, but I kept doing my work. Now, I also I had a big. That wasn't an argument. Yeah, it was an argument. A fight, maybe, with someone that keeps saying that they're interested in me, and then suddenly they're saying, you're a liar. I can't. So it was one of those conversations. And then in the evening, I thought, okay, so I need to take a different tactic with this person. And so I did. I took a new tactic and reached out first. And so things are a little bit better. And we'll see. Hopefully that will go better between us. Not that I'm expecting anything, but still don't want to have those kinds of interactions left as they had been left. So I was learning a little bit more about my communication. A little bit. Yeah, and then I came home. Oh, just a second. Let me show you something. I'm back. Now, this really isn't a big thing. It's not important, but it was an interesting, fun synchronicity. When I went to the department office for me, otherwise known as my department office, not my office, but the office for my department, there was a little package of mail in my box, and I opened the mail, the envelope, and it was some art and some stickers from Robin Voicey, who is the creator of the Tarot of Oneness. I used that for about a month on this channel. So I got in the deck, but now I got this extra Kickstarter artwork. And guess what? One of the art cards, there were two art cards that she sent. One of those two art cards was this. Now, if you know the Tarot of Oneness by Robin Voicey, maybe you recognize what it is. If you don't know that deck, maybe you still recognize what this is. What do you see? You see a pair of hands, and in between those hands, what do we have? We have the four elements, right? We have fire, water, air, and earth. So what card do you think this is? That's right. For this deck, this is the Magus card. So in addition to this being the my card of the day, yeah, I got it reinforced with this very interesting synchronicity. It's a beautiful, beautiful card, right? I love that deck. So that was kind of cool too. I know you're thinking, I waited around for that? Well, I think it's cool. I got excited by it. So, are you excited by it? Let me know in the comments below. What do you think? I think I did do some new stuff today. I think I did move in a direction. Oh, I also tried to start working on my next semester. We have one new textbook that we're going to use. So I went in and I logged on to the site for that textbook for the teacher's resources. And I tried to find the online version of the book, and I tried to find it, and I tried to find it, and I couldn't find it. So I reached out to some of my colleagues to find out if anyone would be interested in teaming up with me to make a PDF file, scan the textbook so that we could have digital copies of the book. And then one of my other friends said, well, there should already be a digital book online. I said, well, I looked and I couldn't find it. They said, well, let me go look. And then they went and looked and said, oh, there isn't one. So then they called the representative, and then it turned out that the book that we ordered did not have the digital content for the book itself available, but they're going to send us the digital content. So we're going to have that available. I'll get it in a couple of days, maybe 3 days. So that's something that got put on hold. Somewhat like this thing, right? So that has been put on hold for me to focus on other things, maybe clear out the detritus of my previous semester's work, I guess, maybe to reimagine how I might decide to use the new book, maybe. So there was that too, which of course now in retrospect, I think is very, very interesting. More interesting than I thought when I was trying desperately to find the material and I couldn't find it. So that's been my day. So friends, what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Does this make sense? Even though I'm talking about things randomly out of order, does it make sense? I hope it does. If it does, let me know in the comments below. If it does not, let me know in the comments below. And if you want a private reading from me, my email is in the description box below. The Hanged Man in the Moon. Send me an email. We'll get you a reading. Hit the thumbs up button if you're still here so that YouTube knows that you got something out of this and other people might get something out of it as well. It helps the channel. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. and hit that alarm bell so you know when I upload videos. I tend to do one a day, and I will continue doing one a day until the new moon in February. Then I'll go back to my old schedule because the new semester will be beginning anon. Oh, and if you want to get these decks, if you want to get the color version of the Egyptian Tarot, I've got an Amazon link below, readily available. I don't get any money if you use it, just for your convenience. Get this deck. It's a really good learning deck, I think. And for an even better learning deck, I think it's better, the Tarot of the Holy Light by Christine Payne-Towler, there's a link to her site as well. This deck has sent me on an entirely new journey that is going to lead in the direction of things like the Pappas deck, the Ouds Picard deck, and also the Atea deck, eventually. So, it's blame it on this deck. So friends, so again, that link is below. Go buy the deck and the guidebook, at least one, if not both of the guidebooks. Very, very helpful. So friends, thank you for being with me. Thank you for coming with me on this journey. And as always, I wish you love, joy, well-being, and pure awareness. Thank you.